Pompeii: The Legacy is an upcoming city-building game by Siscia Games. It's set 20 years after Mount Vesuvius's eruption in 79 AD, and this game will challenge the player to reconstruct the legendary city of Pompeii, navigating historical events and societal intricacies over a 200-year campaign. Siscia Games are owned by the developer Željko Kos, who is the only developer, the solo dev working on this game and developing it. So what you're going to see is the work of one person. Željko has been posting on X some important updates for Pompeii: The Legacy. And as you can see, one important bit here is Steam playtest sign-ups are open. So in case one of you is interested in signing up for a playtest for the game, I think Željko would be really happy. You can do that. There is a link. I will post again, as usual, after the stream ends. I will post all the necessary links in the description below. Anybody who is really fond of this type of games could try to do that, could try to, sign up for the playtesting. It's a unique opportunity. I think it would be great. And the game is already on Steam. It's already on Steam for quite some time. I did already mention it previously on the streams. And you can wishlist it. Good, so let me show you a little bit from the gameplay. And I don't want to play too much, because, as I said, I would really like you to rather go to the original vid and watch it for yourself. I don't want to, let's say, steal the views. I really like how detailed not just the buildings are, but you can see the people and you can even see animals. He will then scroll a little bit closer, and even the environments. I really like the details here. If you look at that, I think there will be visible on one of the buildings, in one of the buildings, there will be some animals, and you can even see the animals moving. So it's really a great attention to detail. And I like how easy it is to position the buildings. You can see the grid. You can see where the road is. It's nice. And basically the game, I did mention it, but I will just quickly, let's say, do a small recap. The game spans, I think, about 200 years. It is after Pompeii has been completely gone, and there was a complete destruction. And as you can see, I think he moves with the camera also to the original spot where the original Pompeii has been, and basically you return there. Yeah, that's where you can see the ruins. You will return there as the head of a family, where you will be assigned to rebuild Pompeii, and you will have to create it again. And it spans a couple of generations, of course, because, as I said, it's going for about 200 years. So there are a couple of generations that will continue the work. And I do like it. I think he also did mention it, that he tried to be, let's say, historically accurate in terms of who was in charge, who was in power at the time, in Rome, and who was in the area. So I think it's giving you a vibe of really historical accuracy, whether it's the buildings, but whether it's also the people whom you are going to meet in the game and with whom you are going to talk. So I really like how he did set it up. And as you can see, there are some animals walking around. So you have all sorts of resources, stones, trees, of course, then the animals. You have all the resources there. For a starting point, it's not so bad. And then, of course, you have to start building the city up. That's the typical classical city builder. But I really like it, and I also like the music, I have to say. Yeah, that's a nice looking Roman insula. Yeah, I really like how how much effort he put into all the details. And I also like the UI, I have to say. So I think it's relatively easy to understand. That was the first thing that I commented as well when I was watching it. Like, I really like the UI, and the instructions are, I think, pretty clear. And the weather patterns, that was something that I did like as well. Like, he did play around with the weather, so you do have these weather changes. It's not like non-stop, constant, let's say, only good weather or something. The only thing I told to Željko was that, yeah, I think it's a little bit too much rain. When you notice it when you watch the vid for a little bit longer, so there is quite a bit of rain actually. Yeah, but if you look at the details, I mean, it's awesome when he scrolls like into a close-up. It's really awesome. Even the grass. So I always admire when you imagine that there is an indie game dev who is alone and who's doing all of this alone. I mean, that's awesome to create something like this. We have to keep that in mind, you know, because people are used to the popular games which are mainly created by bigger studios where a lot of people are working on that, and here you'll see the effort really of one person, and that's awesome. But I do like the fact, at least, like, that he even included this kind of weather patterns, you know, so that's a nice touch, that it's not like static, the environment. A one-man job that looks like this, that's magnificent. Yeah, that's why I'm mentioning it. That's why I was paying attention to this for quite some time already, because I have noticed like his posts, and then I checked out the first what he showed from the game, either like very small vids or, you know, just some screenshots. And yeah, it's raining again now. And it was looking so great that it was really hard for me to believe like this is something that somebody is creating alone, and that's awesome. Yeah. So you can also see whether you're posting the house or that workshop. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's a workshop close to the resources or not. Yeah, I like how he's building it, and I like how it looks like, and the fact that you can actually zoom out that much, that you can see from the top the entire layout, and then also to zoom in and see the details. So that's really great that you have this opportunity to do that. Then again, this is not the first time I'm amazed by a single dev game's graphical polish. Yeah. Which oftentimes that when you see something like this, that's when I have to like laugh when I compare it with the AAA games that lately come out, and you can see something like this. It looks so awesome. It's done by one person or a very, very small studio. If it's a different game that there's like 3 or 4 people maybe working on it, then that's it. And when they release the game, it looks better like a game from a AAA studio these days. And that's something to say. So yeah, kudos to anyone who can do something like this. So yeah, I will stop the vid here, because as I said, I would rather prefer if you would check it out over there on his page. So we've seen about 8 minutes. It is about half an hour long, and I did also provide him some comment, as you can see here. So I wrote from my side what I have noticed when I was watching it before. It looks and feels alive. That was because of the details, like even the animals. I love the details in the environments. The music is beautiful. I like the sound effects. They are really nicely done. The weather changes are great, but a bit too much rain for my taste, as I mentioned. The UI is easily understandable with the pop-up windows. So that was my first impressions. That's what I also wrote here. If you like it, then go to that vid and go to the Steam page, you have here on that Steam page actually not just like the game, and you cannot just wishlist the game, but you have also here the dev blogs. So he was posting small information tidbits about the game, and you can see, for example, here like trade and logistics, and he has a little bit of an update here on that one. So if you click on it, the dev blog will open and you'll see more information here. He's putting in maps. He's also explaining how it will work. So I think that's great that he provides this information already up front, and that you can read a little bit more how the system works when you actually like buy the game. So I really do enjoy the level of detail and as well as all the details that he's providing. And one additional thing which I think is great, and you can see basically that yes, this is a game that others are noticing as well. So the PC Games made an article about him as well, and about Pompeii the Legacy. And there is a little bit of an information here, as I said, so you have some background information. So I would advise you to go through this as well. I will link it here too, but I really enjoy what I'm seeing so far. To put it this way, when I've seen lately what the AAA game studios are putting out, I think it's time to put more emphasis on the indie game devs, or maybe the AA studios, and maybe just support them a little bit more. These people don't get enough exposition in the media. They rarely get covered, like here, Željko by the PC Games article, and I think it's a pity because they really create great games, and they don't have themselves that much, let's say, money for marketing, and all the more they do rely on, you know, the good word that the people put out there. Good, so that's regarding Pompeii the Legacy. As I said, I'm really looking forward. This one really looks nice.